What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cage My IQ. As always, I'm your host, D-Bake. Tonight, we'll be previewing Bellator 270, which is headlined by Patricky Pitbull Fieri going up against Peter Queally, the second fight of their matchup. And the first one, of course, Peter Queally won by doctor stoppage. This is going to be an even better one because it's going to be for the vacated lightweight championship, since Patricio has decided to relinquish his title so that his brother could go after the title, since Patricio is going to go after AJ McKee again, as it shows. But before we get into the quick predictions I have for you on the night before Bellator 270, as always, I'm your host, D-Bake of Cage by IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at the handles to the left. Of course, we're partnered with the Fighters First Network. If you could go to the Fighters First Network on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of our content here at Cage My IQ. And of course, as always, please hit the like button on the video and comment on your opinions of this card, and let me know what you think of my predictions. And of course, we have merch out now at fightersfirst.shop. And of course, one of the merchandise that we have there is the Cage My IQ collection. All you got to do is go to fightersfirst.shop, scroll down to the Cage My IQ collection, and check out the shirt and hoodie that we have out. And we're going to be coming out with more ideas in the future and more design shirts. So let us know what you think. Buy our merch, shout us out on social media, and show us some love. But of course, let's go into the main card that we have tonight. Of course, there was supposed to be four fights on this card, and then Edwards and Fonseca got taken off. So then they added a new fight from the prelim to the main card, to this four-fight main card. And the first fight that we're going to preview is the featherweight matchup that was added up, which was Ilias Bulaid versus Georges Sasu in the featherweight division. This is going to be a fun matchup right here. If you can see on the screen, we got both guys coming in here. And first, you got the newcomer, Georges Sasu, who's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He lost to Benedict Penzer by submission. He beat Sami Yahya by split decision. He beat Franik Labuyanik by submission Gamora. He beat Quailan Aori by decision. And in his last fight, he beat Muhedin Sadoun by unanimous decision, whereas his opponent, Ilias Bulaid, has 2 fights because he's 2-0. He has beat Vitalik Mordota by knee from the clinch KO. In his last fight, he beat Diego Freitas by unanimous decision. So he's coming in here very raw, very new. And I think in this fight, it's going to favor the newcomer, Georges Sasu, because Bulaid is more of a striker on his feet. He's just getting his foot in here. His 2 fights pro have been in Bellator, so he does know the Bellator way. But I just feel like the wrestling style, the grappling of Georges Sasu is going to be too much for him. That 6 pro fights to the 2 is going to make a difference here. And I think Sasu is going to just stand on the feet early, see what Bulaid has to offer, and then he's going to just take the fight to the ground, smother him, keep him down, keep the control time going, and do some ground and pound to him. And then that's what's going to be for all 3 rounds. I think everybody's going to figure that Bulaid's going to come in here because he's been with the company and he's going to outstrike Sasu, but Sasu's just going to limit what he can do, take advantage of the inexperience from Bulaid, and he's going to win this fight by unanimous decision victory to get that debut victory over him. Let's move on to the next matchup here. It's another featherweight matchup that shows Daniel Weichel going up against Pedro Carvalho, and a really interesting matchup here. These are 2 guys that like to stand up and trade. First, we got Carvalho, who in his last 5 fights beat Luca Vitali by submission. He beat Derek Campos by KO. He beat Sam Cecilia by submission. And then he lost to Patricky Pitbull by KO and JJ Wilson by KO. The two tough guys there in Bellator, whereas Daniel Weichel has lost to Patricio Pitbull, so that's a common opponent. Gayotti Yamauchi by decision split. Sal Rogers, he beat by decision. He lost to Emmanuel Sanchez by decision. In his last fight, he beat Keanu Diggs by split decision. These are two guys that are veterans of Bellator. Weichel comes in. He has that good striking background. He likes to throw combinations. He likes to push the pace, whereas Pedro Carvalho is a striker as well. He has tendencies to knock people out, but he is also a wrestler where he likes to get takedowns. He likes to grapple when he needs to. And I feel like in this matchup, Daniel Weichel is going to stuff the takedowns. He has pretty good takedown defense. And he's going to get his striking going. I think Reichel's striking's better than Pedro Carvalho's. And I feel like he's going to win by second round knockout over Pedro Carvalho. I think Carvalho is going to try and do too much of the grappling, and I think Weichel's going to just time his shots, and he's going to catch Carvalho again coming up from changing levels for the takedown. He's going to catch him in the chin, and he's going to put him down and get the second round TKO over Pedro Carvalho. So in this one, I got Daniel Weichel by second round knockout. In the co-main event of the evening, we got a bantamweight matchup that's pitting James Gallagher, the hometown favorite, against Patchy, the American, in this division. This is going to be a fun matchup here. First, you got Patchy, who is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He beat Ricky Bandejas by submission. He beat Isaiah Chapman by submission. He beat Yuki Motoya by submission. He lost to Juan Archuleta by decision. And he beat Albert Morales by submission. So he has a lot of submissions to victories to his name. If you go back even farther, he has even more submissions that he's done. Then you got James Gallagher, who has lost to Ricky Bandejas by KO, a common opponent. He beat Stephen Graham by submission. He beat Jeremiah Labiana by decision. He beat Roman Salazar by submission. In his last fight, he beat Cal Eleanor by submission. And he, as well, has quite a bit of submissions under his belt, with the rear naked choke being one of his favorites to use in this matchup. And, of course, Patchy next is going to be the taller fighter with the longer reach. So that's going to definitely play a factor in this. James Gallagher has the striking. He can knock you out, but he's more of a grappler, looking for submissions. He likes to get you down on the ground, smother you. And then, of course, Patchy has that wrestling background where he likes to go for the double leg takedowns along the fence, use his strength to pull you down, and then lock in those submissions on you. As you see there, he has a lot of submissions to his name. He also likes the rear naked choke, the guillotine. He's done a little bit of else too, and then he wins by decision. Both of these fighters have only lost one fight in their career. And I think the big deal in this matchup will be the height and the length of Patchy I do give Gallagher a puncher's chance in this fight, but I just think the wrestling and submissions of Patchy is going to be on a different level from James Gallagher. He's just so good at what he does. In this one, I got a Patchy by first round rear naked choke submission. I feel like he's going to be able to get him down, control him on the ground. You're going to see James Gallagher try to get up because it's his hometown crowd. And then that's where Patchy is going to take the back of Gallagher as he's trying to get up, and he's going to lock him in the rear naked choke, and he's going to make him tap out. So for this co-main event evening, I got Patchy mixed by first round rear naked choke submission. And the main event evening, we got the lightweight championship matchup between Patricky Pitbull Fieri versus Peter Queally 2. As you see here, they're fighting for the vacated belt, as I said before, because Patricky's brother Patricio is relinquishing the title, so his brother can go after it, and so he can focus on his rematch with AJ McKee. But you got Patricky Pitbull coming in 3-2 in his last 5 fights. He has beaten Ryan Scope by split decision. He beat Tezuya Kawajiri by KO punches. He beat Luis Gustavo by KO punches and soccer kick. And then he lost to Tofik Musave by decision and Peter Queally in their first fight by KO doctor stoppage, which he actually was looking very good against Peter Queally until that happened because the blood was covering him and the doctor couldn't get it to stop, and he was playing it safe. Even when Patricky was coming back and starting to hit Peter Queally with some good shots. Then you got Peter Queally, who in his fights, he has a draw to Koya Kamata by decision. He's beat David Kachaturian by KO. He lost to Miles Price by split decision. He beat Ryan Scope by KO punches. And in his last fight, he beat, of course, Patricky Pitbull by KO doctor stoppage. This is going to be just like the other fight, in my opinion, where you're going to have Peter Queally, who does have a grappling background, but he's going to be there to stand up and trade, throw those combinations, get inside of Patricky, whereas Patricky has those power hands, and the wrestling grappling way is going to try and take down and ground and pound Peter Queally like he did before. But it was those hands of Peter Queally in the fight that were doing the most damage, because he was able to just unload on Patricky at certain times, even when Patricky was able to take him down several times and do some damage to Peter Queally. I think it's going to be the same, and then in this fight, it's going to be 5 rounds instead of 3, so it's going to be a little bit of a different game plan. I think that's where Patricky's going to go more towards the wrestling to get some control time, to limit what Peter Queally's going to do. And I think with that, Peter Queally's going to try and work. I think in training camp, he's probably working on the striking and the grappling defense, where he's going to try to defend the takedowns as much as he can, and then use that to get his combination started. He's going to attack the head. He's going to try and get him bloodied up early, and then he's just going to pile in the combinations and the striking count on him with the volume. And at the end of the day, I do have Peter Queally knocking out Patricky in the 4th round. I think it's going to go a little while, and he's going to wear out Patricky, because you're going to have Patricky try and shoot in several times, and that's going to eventually wear out his gas tank in this fight, because he's going to have to do that, and then he's going to take damage. And I think he's going to catch him in the 4th round, and it's going to give him the lightweight championship. And once again, in this main event for the lightweight championship, I got Patricky Pitbull losing to Peter Queally, and we're going to have Peter Queally crowned as the lightweight championship in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. I think that's going to be the big deal here. He's going to want to come in to the hometown crowd and put on a show and win the title. And that's going to be a big thing here. So once again, for this one, I got Peter Queally defeating Patricky Pitbull Fieri by 4th round TKO knockout. Once again, before we get going, because that's wrapping up this quick preview of Bellator 270 by yours truly, D-Bake. All I ask for you to do is send us your comments and opinions. hit the like button on this video. That's pretty important. Hit the like button on this video so we can get it out there, get the YouTube algorithm going. And then please subscribe to the YouTube channel at Fighters First and hit the notification button. And then check out the rest of the videos we have on here. Of course, I have my UFC preview on here. I got my DFS by Cage video on here for this week. And of course, this one, the Bellator video. And then, of course, I go on Monday with my co-host Miles to recap UFC and Bellator. So check out all the content. Check out everything else that we have on Fighters First. And then tune in and check everything out. And just enjoy all the content we put out. But as always, I'm your host, D-Bake, and I will talk to you guys next week. See ya.